the fireball. Alright, so it must have been about 1986, 1987. So I was a teenager. I used to have terrible, terrible sleep as a teenager. And I lived at the time north of Toronto. And quite often I wouldn't be able to sleep at night time. So what I'd do is I'd take the dogs out for a walk. So one night, it was quite a cool night, so it must have been maybe November time. I've taken the dogs out, and we lived at the end of this cul-de-sac. And on the way out of the cul-de-sac, you actually went by a golf course. So I quite often walk the dogs on the golf course. It was quite a bright night. The moon was behind me as I'm walking towards the golf course. And this particular golf course, the actual golf club house was actually on a hill. So although you walked on the ground level, you actually walked out onto a deck they had, which was like one floor up from the ground. And you could see all the way across this golf course. And in the distance, you could see the lights of Toronto. And it's about 3 a.m. And as I'm leaning against the railing, the dogs are sniffing around. And I'm looking out thinking, oh, look at all the lights. And suddenly, this gigantic fireball just comes out from behind the horizon. It's like a mini sun. I can see, like when you think about looking at the sun, you can see the flames and the yellows and the oranges and the reds as it's moving. And it must be at least 10 or 20 miles away. It is huge. I mean, if I held a basketball in front of my face, maybe at arm's length, it'd be about half the size of that, just to give you an idea. And it raised up into the sky, and it hovered there for at least 3, 4, 5 minutes. So I was getting a really good look at this. And at first I'm like, has something exploded? It's a fireball. But no, it just raised up into the sky. Not even that high in the sky. You know, only a little bit above the horizon. And it just stayed there. And then after a while, it just slowly went down, as if the sun was going down behind the horizon. But the lights of Toronto were behind it. And I know because as it went down, I could see the lights of Toronto. And it just felt like it was behind it. And it just disappeared. And I stood there for, at least another 45 minutes, an hour, just to see if this thing reappeared. It never reappeared. It never reappeared on any of the other walks I did. I'd quite often go out and I'd stand there and I'd look. And it never happened again. And I looked in the newspapers and there was nothing about any explosions or anything. Anything that could even explain it. So I don't know what that was. An unidentified flying object of some sort. But it was an amazing experience. If you like my stories, all these things that have happened to me in my life, I've got so many stories. Like and subscribe so you can hear the next video. Yeah, I'll let you know when it comes out. Thanks very much. See you all soon. Bye.